Elizabeth, she's watching TV and she sees the police broadcast. She's like, I need to come forward. She decided to stand up against Joseph. And the next time he came to the chamber, she demanded that she be able to go to the hospital and talk to the doctors and stuff and help be there with her daughter. I'm not sure how she did it, but she did it. And yay, glad that she did. On April 26th, Joseph released her from the cellar along with her sons, Stefan and Felix. So he brings them all upstairs into the home. Him and Elizabeth, they go to the hospital where Kirsten was being treated and like leaves the two kids behind. I don't know how he explains that away, right, to everybody. Oh God, so confused. He's in deep shit. And like, it must have been wild for them, right? They haven't seen sunlight in forever. They haven't seen the outside world. It must have been like really confusing, overwhelming, and bizarre. So while Joseph and Elizabeth were at the hospital, one of the doctors that was treating Kirsten goes off to the side and is like, calls up police and is like, hey, they're here, you know? So police have been waiting for this moment. So they swoop in real quick. So police end up detaining them on hospital grounds and they take them down, Joseph and Elizabeth, down to the police station. So the police, they split up the two. And they ask Elizabeth, you know, for more details, like what was going on. Now, in the beginning, it was said like she was the one in trouble, essentially. They thought like she was being abusive towards her kids and they wanted answers. And at first, she like wasn't talking. I'm sure she was afraid and like conditioned not to talk. But once the police told her that they were going to take her children away forever, then she finally started to talk. So police, they also like made a promise with her that she would never have to see her father again if she told them like what was really going on. So over the next 2 hours, Elizabeth told police everything that had been happening over the last 24 years in captivity. 24 years. They record this too on videotape. But she tells them everything, like, you know, Joseph raping her over and over again, the dank cell, the control and power he had, the children she had, how Joseph threw that one of her babies into the incinerator, how evil he was. I mean, everything. She told police she did not know why, but her father simply chose her for himself. So the interview with police ended after midnight, and then shortly after that, Joseph Fritzl, who was like now 73, he was arrested on suspicion of serious crimes against family members. Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Serious crimes. Yeah. I guess Joseph, he was like, this is a bit much. Like, he was telling people, like, he felt like this was a bit much, saying that his behavior towards his daughter was consensual. Yeah. He kept saying that it was consensual. Oh, yeah? I'm sure. Locking someone up in a cellar, I'm sure that's what they wanted. Well, the police, they knew about his secret room and everything, you know, because Elizabeth, she told them. So with that, they go to Joseph and they're like, you know, give us all the information. So Joseph provided them with the information they needed to find the chamber's entry point and also the secret keyless entry code to get in. I was watching an interview with like one of the investigators, I think it was, but they were saying like when they went into that cellar, it was like super traumatizing for them and they all needed like therapy afterwards. If they just walked in and that was traumatizing, could you imagine 24 years? How much that would fuck you up? Gives me a lot of anxiety. On the night of April 27th, 2008, Elizabeth, her children, and her mother, Rosemary, they were taken out of the house and they were put into care. I know. I was trying to figure out, like, how was the meeting when Elizabeth first sees her mom? I was like, what was that like? Like, was it weird? Was it nice? Was she angry? I'm unsure. I feel like I would be pissed off. Like, you didn't know I was underneath the house. Where were you? Like, you didn't think it was weird all these kids were showing up? Like, I don't know. I'd be so mad. I mean, I wouldn't even make it past a year. There's no way. So I don't know why I'm talking. Anyhow, so unsure how the meeting went, but they were all taken. So then police do like DNA testing and whatever. And like on April 29th, it was announced that the DNA evidence confirmed that Yosef was the biological father of his daughter's children. So they're like, okay, she's not lying. And then on May 1st, during a daily press conference, police said that Yosef had like forced Elizabeth to write a letter the previous year saying that she wanted to come home, but it's not possible yet. Now, to them, police, like this meant that Yosef was planning on like releasing her and the children. Maybe at some point. I don't know. But this is what they're thinking. So police, they believed that Yosef was planning to like pretend to have rescued his daughter from this fake cult that he made up. They don't know when that was going to happen, but they think like it was going to happen. I don't know. Did he really think she was never going to say anything though? Well, maybe, because like she had been conditioned for 24 years. Damn. So again, like police, they had planned to interview at least 100 people who had lived as tenants in the Fritzl house, which is wild that they had 100 different people, but over 24 years. Is that normal? I don't know. That's just a lot, right? So then in July, Elizabeth gave her videotape testimony before prosecutors and investigators, and this is what they were going to use in court. So in May of 2009, it was like almost a year later, some of Yosef's conversations, like with his lawyers, were released to the media. You know, the media was all over this. I mean, obviously, this is like a, what, right? What? So, media frenzy. So, when, like, anytime Yosef spoke or anything, like, people were leaking stuff all the time. But, according to Yosef, he believed that the media was making him out to be some kind of beast. He was like, this is unfair. You know, and he was nothing like the beast that the media was making him out to be. He's like, this is not true. It was consensual. So Joseph said, this is a quote, "When I went into the bunker, I brought flowers for my daughter and books and stuffed animals for the children." He said, "They watched adventure movies while Elizabeth cooked their favorite meals. And then we all sat around the table and ate together." You know, trying to prove that they lived this like happy life. I was like, okay. Then when Elizabeth became pregnant, Yosef said that he gave her medical books so she knew what she had to do on the day. He also went on to say that he gave her towels, disinfectant, and bandages. As if we're just supposed to be like, oh, well, all right then, you know, you're good. You gave her bandages and a book? All right. Makes sense. You're a good guy. I could not believe that answer. I was like, is he fucking serious? Oh, he's serious. He's serious. He went on to say that, like, he knew what he was doing the whole 24 years was, like, not right, but that it had become a normal occurrence to kind of lead the second life, like one in the house and one in the basement. And he's like, that was just my normal. When Yosef was asked why Elizabeth, why her, Yosef said that he chose Elizabeth because, again, she looked like his mother, Maria, and also because her rebellious teenage behavior offended his love of discipline. The whole mom comment is like, but it gets worse. Because listen, Yosef said that he, quote, succeeded in suppressing his lust for his mother, Maria, but he could not control himself when it came to Elizabeth. He went on to say, quote, "My desire to have sex with Elizabeth became ever stronger. It was a vicious circle from which there was no exit. Not only for Elizabeth, but also for myself." Bro, the fuck? This guy's a different level of sick.